So you've decided to give intermittent fasting a shot, or at least you're thinking about it. Awesome. But you probably ran into the first big hurdle almost immediately. It's not just that you fast, it's how you fast. And that leads to a huge question. So let's break it down together and figure out what actually makes sense for you.
And there it is, the million-dollar question. Do you skip breakfast and push that first meal to lunchtime, or do you go the other way, have an early dinner and call it a night? It feels like a simple choice, right? A coin flip. But trust me, the right answer for you isn't in some book. It's hidden in plain sight, right in your own daily schedule. All right, let's dive into the most popular kid on the block, skipping breakfast. You hear about this one all the time, and honestly, for a lot of people, it just works. But it's definitely not a perfect solution for everyone.
The appeal here is just pure convenience. I mean, if your morning is a mad dash to get out the door, skipping breakfast is one less thing on your to-do list, right? Plus, you're literally just dropping a whole meal from your day, which makes managing your calorie intake way simpler. A lot of people also swear they get this incredible mental clarity and focus in the morning, which might be thanks to a little natural energy boost from the fast.
Okay, but it's not all smooth sailing. If you're someone who loves a morning workout or has a physically demanding job, trying to do that on an empty tank can leave you feeling totally gassed. And here's the other trap. You get to lunch, you're absolutely starving, so you eat a huge meal, and then you're hit with that massive afternoon energy crash. And then there's the family breakfast, sitting there with a black coffee while everyone else is digging into pancakes. Yeah, that can feel a little lonely.
So what's the alternative then? Well, instead of skipping the first meal of the day, you skip the last one. This is what we call the early dinner approach, and it's getting more and more popular for some really good reasons.
One of the biggest wins here, and this is pretty cool, actually happens while you're sleeping. When your body isn't working overtime to digest a big, late meal, it can focus on repairing and resting. The result? Deeper, better quality sleep for a lot of folks. This method also seems to sync up better with our body's natural rhythm. Our metabolism is just more fired up earlier in the day, so eating during that window can be a real game changer for weight management and keeping your blood sugar steady.
Now for the reality check. Most of our modern lives just aren't built for early dinners. If you work late, finishing your last meal by 6 p.m. can feel, completely impossible. You might also find yourself battling some serious hunger pangs right when you're trying to wind down for bed. But the number one challenge, for sure, is your social life. Dinners with friends, family gatherings, date nights. How are you supposed to manage all that when your eating window closed hours ago?
So, after looking at the pros and cons of both, you might realize the question we're asking is wrong. It's not which way is better, it's which way is better for me. The secret to making this whole intermittent fasting thing actually work isn't about forcing yourself into a new, rigid schedule. It's about finding the schedule that fits the life you're already living.
So let's get personal for a minute. Just think about your own natural rhythm. Are you an early bird, someone who's up at the crack of dawn and most productive in the morning? Well, then an early dinner approach fuels you when you need that energy the most. Or are you a total night owl? The thought of eating a big meal first thing probably sounds awful, so skipping breakfast just feels right. And if your social life is all about evenings out, let's be honest, skipping breakfast is going to be the only realistic choice. The answer is right there in your calendar.
And you know what? This brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most important takeaway of all. Forget what the latest study says for a second. The most scientifically perfect plan on Earth is completely useless if you can't stick with it for more than a few days. The only method that truly works is the one that you can actually see yourself doing day in and day out.
So whether you land on Team Skip Breakfast or Team Early Dinner, there are a few ground rules that apply to everyone. Think of these as the foundation. They're going to make your journey a whole lot smoother, healthier, and way more successful no matter which path you end up taking.
Okay, no matter what you choose, these 4 things are non-negotiable. First, hydrate. All the time. Seriously, sometimes when you think you're hungry, you're actually just thirsty. Water, black coffee, herbal tea, make them your best friends. Second, make your meals count. Because you're eating in a smaller window, every bite matters. You've got to pack in that nutrition, protein, veggies, healthy fats. Third, please start slow. Don't go from eating at 10 p.m. to stopping at 5 p.m. overnight. Just shrink your window by an hour at a time. And finally, listen to your body, especially your sleep. If your new schedule is wrecking your rest, it's not working, period.
When you strip everything else away, it all comes down to this one simple truth. Stop trying to twist and bend your life to fit some diet you read about online. Instead, find the fasting schedule that slides right into the life you already have, like a missing puzzle piece. That is the secret. That's how this stops being a chore and starts being a sustainable habit.
So I want to leave you with this one question to think about. Just for a second, forget about fasting, forget about diets. Just ask yourself, what does my day really look like? When am I busiest? When do I spend time with my family? When do I really need my energy to be at its peak? The right answer to that whole breakfast versus dinner debate, it's already in there. It's waiting for you in the answer to that question.